I met Susan in a nightclub. Actually, I met Susan the next day after the nightclub. I was laying on a picnic bench, kind of worked over from the nightclub. And I was definitely coming out of not putting myself last. I was rocking out, having a good time. Anyway, I was in Boise, Idaho, at a park someplace, laying on a bench going, my God, what did I do? And I had a great time. First time in Boise, Idaho. Boy, they got some rock and roll country cowboy bars there that you can do some dancing, do some drinking of tequila. And you definitely put yourself last the next day because you can't do anything else but lay there. So now, the cost of putting yourself last, we were doing all kinds of things and talking about, how to take care of yourself, and you have to ask for what you want. Oh, we got a caller in here. So, hey, I'm sorry, caller. Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
Sounds like I'm more energized than you are.
Well, no, I was just thinking about your laying down on the bench in Boise, Idaho.
Hey, with a cowboy hat over my head, and everybody's going, who's that guy on the table?
I'm thinking it sounds kind of fun. But anyway,
yes.
The reason I called is I hear what you're saying about, people who, I kind of get the person who's, all about doing kind of as a hoverer because I have a hover in my life.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
And for a while it was kind of cool, but...
Now, when you say hover, do you mean, it's like they're so busy doing everybody else's stuff and watching everybody else's stuff that you can't imagine how they could have a life of their own? Is that what you mean?
Well, no, it's like they are... I'm like the center of their... want to do everything for me.
Oh, they're hovering over you.
Over me.
Ah.
Yeah, and it's, kind of cool and it's kind of fun. And
is this a family member?
It is.
Okay.
It is, and it's something that she's kind of done since we were kids, really. My other siblings tease her and call her Mother Hen.
Mm-hmm.
But...
Okay, so is it sister?
It is.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's something that tends to, I don't know, right now it's just grinding me like...
Yeah, is she older?
She is. It's like she doesn't think I'm capable.
Yeah, and honey, respectfully, is she firstborn?
Second the oldest daughter, yeah.
Okay. All right, so, and you want some room from her?
Yeah, without hurting her feelings.
Okay, so have you ever sat her down and say, dear, or whatever her name is, and say, I really appreciate how you take care of me and everything else, but you're getting to a place to where I'm kind of worried about whether you have a life or not. So how about lightening up a little bit on how you cover my life, and let's get your life going a little bit. And if that doesn't work, tell her, hovering sometimes makes me nervous, and I don't want to push you away because I love you as my sister. But if we keep interacting the way we're interacting, I'm going to want to get away from you more and not be with you more.
That is such a much nicer way of saying that.
Yeah, don't say bite me.
Yeah, not bite me. Or I was thinking back off. Or I guess
yeah.
the what really got me to call today was I'm afraid that I'm going to end up getting mad and saying something I'm going to regret later.
I can tell you this. If you let it go long enough, the mad you will get will far exceed the circumstance when you go off. Because you stack stuff up. The mad, you keep suppressing it, and then all of a sudden you just go off.
Yeah.
And then you do damage. And many times with a family member, you'll do damage that can't be repaired. In fact, for parents out there, one of the biggest problems I have with parents and their kids is they hold back until when they go off, they do so much damage and create so much fear with the offspring that many times it can't be fixed.
Yep.
So it's called full and complete communication. And have you ever heard of the family meeting thing I've talked about on the show many times?
I have heard you talk about that.
Yeah, well, it's time to have maybe a sister and sister walk on the, I don't know where you live, but walk somewhere in the trees or walk on the beach or whatever, and speak from love at her and speak from appreciation, not speak from frustration and tiredness.
Yep. No, I got it. I can do that.
And remember now, habits are hard to break, okay? So don't expect one talk to clean it up.
It's going to take patience.
Okay, also, I can guarantee you, most people get their feelings hurt and they will walk away from you for a while. Just wait.
Okay.
Just wait. Don't try and fix her like she's fixing you. Just wait. She'll come back because hovers usually hover out of love, and then it gets to be a habit. Okay?
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for calling in. That's a great question.
You're welcome.
All right, take care.
Bye-bye.
So now, we were talking about, just like on that phone call, is like, what do you do when you're so busy and you drop you out? What does that cost you? Cost you aliveness? costs you fun time with yourself, costs you downtime with yourself. You know, I rarely have I met somebody that ever spent some time with themselves where they didn't enjoy it. They're usually surprised about how much fun they can have by themselves. And you're really not by yourself. It's like what the books you read, the things you see, the people you think about, the plans you make, okay? The adjustments you make in your clothing, the dusting of your closet you do, the cleaning of the vacuum machine, you know, all the stuff that you never do and you want to get to, and it's on your to-do list that's been moved over into I'll get to it later list. I got to tell you, when you take the time to take care of yourself and you do your I'll get to it list, it feels good every single time. It gives you worth. You know what I mean? It's really cool. It's like Albert Ellis said, the best years of our life are the ones in which we decide your problems are your own. You do not blame them on your mother, the ecology, or the president. You realize that you control your own destiny. Now think about that. If you are the only person that has a say in how your life turns out, and there's a part of your life that isn't working, what are you doing fixing somebody else? What would it be like if you could just get happy, have fun, and be outrageous and visible doing all that, okay? And teach people by who you're being and how much fun you're having. Gee, what a concept, huh? Pretty good, huh? So think about that also. So it's like I have an assistant, and her family has all kinds of things going on in it, right? They have 2 kids. The dad works full-time. She's working with me full-time. There's all kinds of things going on. They're first worrying. They fret about everything. They fret about what's going on in their lives. They fret about what they're going to do, fret about what their parents are going to do, fret about what the kids are going to do, fret about what's going on in school. All kinds of things are going on. The husband works 19,000 hours, and pretty soon they take a look, and the place they go is to church, and then they get really active in the church, and they say yes to everything, and they do everything, and then the mom goes, excuse me, but who am I? What am I doing? I'm on automatic. I don't want to do all this. And the truth is they do, but they're just tired out because they don't have a picture of who they are. So you can't make a difference for another if you haven't made a difference for yourself. All you can do is just get worn out. And then it becomes almost obligatory. It's like, oh boy, aren't I great? Look how tired and worn out and unhappy I am. I must be really making a difference somewhere. And the truth is that's not true. All right? So what do you think a person needs that's doing for everybody else? What do you think the number 1 need is? It's split between learning how to say no and not no like I don't like you and I'm not going to play and I don't want to, to be asked that again and don't bother me. But no like I can't do that. I've got some other things I've got to do, but I know this person that could help you. Why don't you give this person a call? So that's one way to handle it. The other way to handle it is just absolutely understand that you're not going to take anything else on until you learn to take care of yourself. So if you want to go do something that takes an extra hour in your day, make sure it's after you've taken the time to take care of yourself, okay? So you have to give up worrying about all the things and say no to them. You have to give up worrying about all the people. You have to give up fixing. You have to give up doing all the stuff that you think you should be doing that respectfully you're making up and nobody asked you to do. It's like self-worth doesn't come out of work. Self-worth comes out of inner peace. Okay? You have to really start thinking about that. It says, who do I have to be to have my life work and then show my kids, my wife, my husband, my coworkers that they can have the same thing? All right? Think about that now. Okay, I've got to go on a break now. You're listening to Clay Nelson Life Balance Hour, and the topic of the show is the costs of putting yourself last. And one big cost is you lose yourself. So get on back here and let's start getting ourselves back.